A dirty old man in torn clothes walked slowly on the road. He could not see well. He used a stick to find his way. But before he could take another step, a young man in a shiny suit pushed him hard. The old man fell straight into the mud. People laughed at him. Someone spat on him. Someone said, "You dirty beggar! Move away before I call security." No one knew the truth. No one knew that the old, blind beggar owned the ground they stood on. No one knew he was Chief Obi, the richest man in the city, and today he was testing their hearts. My people, before we continue, please show some love. Like this video, and subscribe to African Tales by Kairo, so more hearts can hear stories like this. Let's go back to the story. Chief Obi was known everywhere in the city. When people heard his name, they stood up. When his cars passed by, children ran to the road just to wave. He had money that could fill many houses. He had land, he had companies, he had power. People said he was blessed. People said he was lucky. But people did not know the truth behind his gates. Inside his big mansion, life was not warm. It was cold. It was quiet. It was lonely. Every morning, Chief Obi woke up in a king-sized bed. But he had no one to say good morning to. His wife, Mama Ada, died long ago. She was the only one who ever understood his heart. She was soft. She was kind. She cared for people more than she cared for gold. When she left this world, the house changed. The light faded. The silence grew. And even though his home had 50 rooms, it still felt empty. Chief Obi had 3 sons. He loved them more than anything in this world. When they were small boys, they played in the garden. They ran around the fountain. They laughed loudly. Those days made Chief Obi smile. Those days made him feel alive. But as they grew older, something changed inside them. Their hearts became hard. Their eyes became hungry for things that did not matter. They wanted the newest phones. They wanted the biggest parties. They wanted money, and even more money. When Chief Obi called them, they answered with tired voices. "Dad, I'm busy. Dad, I'm with friends. Dad, maybe next week." But when they needed cash, they came running like birds flying toward food. "Dad, I need 10 million. Dad, I need a new car. Dad, my account is empty. Please refill it." Chief Obi always gave. He hoped that giving love through money would make them love him back. But every time they left with full pockets, his heart felt even more empty. Like someone had taken a small piece out of it. One evening, he sat alone in his living room. The house was so quiet that he could hear his own breathing. The walls were filled with expensive art, but none of the pictures smiled at him. His table was filled with awards, but none of the trophies hugged him. His phone was silent. No one called just to say, "Dad, how are you? How are you? Hazana State, how are you?" He picked up an old photo album. The first picture was his wedding day. Mama Ada stood beside him, smiling like sunlight. She looked happy. She looked pure. He touched her face slowly and whispered, "If only you were here. If only you could help me." He turned the pages. There were pictures of his sons in school uniforms, pictures of family trips, pictures of birthdays. Everyone was smiling in the photos, but now those smiles felt far away, like they belonged to a different lifetime. Chief Obi closed the album and placed his hand on his chest. His heart felt heavy, heavier than all the wealth he owned. "Do they love me?" he whispered. "Or do they only love what I can give?" The question stayed in the air like smoke. It choked him. It burned his throat. He stood up and wiped his tears with shaky fingers. He was a powerful man outside, but inside, he felt like a weak old man who had lost everything that mattered. That night, he walked through his mansion slowly, touching the walls as he passed. These walls held his memories. These walls knew his secrets. He stopped at his wife's favorite chair and placed his hand on it. "My sons must learn what real love is," he said softly. "If I die today, they will only fight for my money. They will not cry for me. They will not miss me. I must know their hearts before it is too late." He took a deep breath. A brave breath. A painful breath. He called his lawyer. "Tomorrow," he said, "bring me old clothes. Clothes that look dirty. Bring me torn shoes, dark glasses, and a long walking stick." The lawyer was shocked. "Chief, why? What are you planning?" Chief Obi looked at him with sad eyes. "I am planning to find out who loves the man, not the money." Later that night, he stood in front of the mirror wearing the rags. The clothes were rough. The shoes were broken. His face looked tired. He no longer looked like the richest man in the city. He looked like someone forgotten by the world. He touched the mirror gently and whispered, "Let the truth come out. Let the truth come out. Let the truth come out." Before sunrise, Chief Obi walked out of his gate. No guards followed him. No driver opened the door for him. No car waited. It was just him. An old man in torn clothes, holding a stick, ready to discover who truly had a heart. If you are still watching, thank you, my people. Please like the video and share it with someone who needs a little hope today. Now, let us continue. Chief Obi walked slowly with his stick tapping the ground. The sun was rising, but he could not enjoy its light. The air was warm, but he felt cold inside. He moved like a man carrying stones on his shoulders. Every step felt heavy. Every breath felt painful. But he kept walking. He wanted the truth, even if the truth hurt him. His first stop was the home of his eldest son, Emeka. Emeka lived in a huge, shiny house. Music was bursting from the windows. Cars were parked everywhere. Friends were laughing loudly. Champagne bottles were on the tables. It looked like a festival, not a home. Chief Obi reached the gate. He stood there quietly, breathing slowly. He lifted his stick and tapped the gate gently. "Please, help me," he whispered. "I am hungry. I am thirsty. I have nowhere to go." The gate opened slightly. A security guard stepped out. He looked at the old man from head to toe and frowned. "What do you want?" The guard asked, sharply. "I only want water." The old man said, "Just water, my son." The guard laughed. "Your son? Who here is your son? Move away before my boss sees you." But it was too late. Emeka stepped outside, holding a glass of expensive wine. He wore sunglasses and a gold chain. He looked rich, but his heart was empty. He saw the old man and shouted, "Who let this dirty thing near my house?" Chief Obi lowered his head. "Please, I am blind. I am weak. I only need water. I only need water." Emeka walked closer. He waved his hand in disgust. "You smell like a dead goat. Why should I help you? Do I look like a charity worker?" The guests laughed. Someone recorded the scene on their phone. Another one said, "Push him, Emeka, push him." And he did. He kicked the walking stick away. The old man fell face first into the dirt. People clapped. They laughed. They pointed. He tried to get up, but his hands shook. His heart broke into many pieces. Not because he was hurt, but because this was the same boy he raised with love, the same boy he sent to school overseas, the same boy he protected from every storm. "Please," the old man whispered, "have mercy." But Emeka shouted louder. "Mercy? For who? You are nothing. You are trash. Get out before I release my dogs." Chief Obi wiped his tears quickly so no one would see. He did not want pity. He wanted truth. He stood up slowly, took his stick, and walked away. Behind him, people kept laughing. He walked for a long time. His body hurt. His legs shook. but he could not stop. He needed to see his second son, Chidi. Chidi lived in a tall building with shining glass windows. He was dressed in pure white clothes, ready to go out with his girlfriend. They were taking pictures on the stairs, smiling happily. But when Chidi saw the old blind beggar walking toward him, his smile disappeared. The old man whispered, "My son, please, I need a little help." Chidi stepped back as if the beggar was poison. "Do not come near my clothes," he snapped. "You will make them dirty." His girlfriend covered her nose. "Ew! What is that smell? Chidi, do something!" The old man folded his hands. "I have eaten nothing since yesterday. Please. Even bread is fine." "Bread. Even bread is fine." Chidi removed his sunglasses and glared. "Why should I give you anything? Do you think I work for your stomach?" "Why?" Chidi removed his sunglasses. Chidi removed his sunglasses. "Why?" Chidi removed his sunglasses. "Do you think I work for your stomach?" Chidi removed his stomach. Chidi removed his stomach. Chidi removed his stomach. Chidi removed his stomach. "I am blind," the old man said softly, "and I cannot walk far." Chidi laughed. "Blind? Then you should have stayed home. Why walk on my street?" His girlfriend added. "Honey, just call the police. This old man is ruining our day." Chidi pulled out his phone. "Yes, I think I will." "Old man, you have 3 seconds to leave." The old man fell to his knees. "Please don't call the police. I am weak. I have nowhere to sleep." "1." Chidi leaned close and whispered coldly, "That is not my problem." Then he pushed the old man away from his car. The old man hit the pavement hard. His elbow bled, his forehead bruised. But the bigger wound was inside his chest. His heart felt crushed. He looked up at Chidi with shaking lips. "You are my son," he whispered. "My own blood." Chidi rolled his eyes. "You are crazy. Get away before security drags you." 2 guards rushed forward and lifted the old man by his arms. They threw him outside the compound like garbage. Dust covered his face. His glasses cracked. His legs trembled. He sat on the roadside. Tears fell slowly. They soaked the dust on his cheeks. "How did my children become so cruel?" he whispered to himself. "How did their hearts turn to stone?" People passed by him without looking. Cars honked. The city moved like he did not exist. He felt smaller than a grain of sand. He felt like the world had forgotten him. His stomach growled from hunger. His throat burned from thirst. The sun was now hotter. His back hurt. His feet were swollen. He had no strength left to walk. He leaned against a wall and closed his eyes. "I cannot do this anymore," he said softly. Maybe no one in this city has a heart left." No, but he was wrong. Someone was watching him. Someone who still had kindness inside. A soft voice spoke behind him. "Papa, are you okay?" He turned weakly. It was a poor maid. Her name was Amara, and she was about to change everything. Amara stood beside the old blind man with worry in her eyes. She wore a simple maid's uniform. Her shoes were worn out. Her hands were rough from work. She was poor, tired, and hungry herself. But even in her hard life, there was still light in her heart. She bent down and touched his shoulder gently. "Papa, can you hear me?" she asked softly. Chief Obi lifted his head slowly. His lips trembled. His voice was weak. "Please, leave me," he whispered. "I do not want trouble for you." But Amara shook her head. "No, Papa. I cannot leave you here. You look like you will faint." She sat on the dirt beside him. She did not care that her uniform would get dirty. She did not care that people were staring. She did not care that the world would laugh at her. She only cared about the old man in front of her. "Have you eaten?" she asked. The old man shook his head. "Not since yesterday." Amara opened her small brown bag. Inside was her lunch, a tiny wrap of rice, and 1 small bottle of water. It was not much. It was all she had for the whole day. She worked 12 hours at a rich family's house, but they paid her little and treated her with no respect. Still, she smiled. "Papa, this is for you," she said. Chief Obi's eyes widened behind his dark glasses. No, no. That is your food. I cannot take it. Amara smiled again, even though her own stomach hurt from hunger. Papa, I am young. I can wait. You are old. You need strength. She opened the food and fed him slowly, spoon by spoon. She lifted the bottle to his lips. She wiped the sweat from his forehead. She even cleaned his cracked glasses with the edge of her sleeve. No one had cared for Chief Obi like this since his wife died. And this girl, this poor maid, was treating him with the love of a daughter. The city moved around them, but it felt like the world had stopped for these two souls. Thank you, he whispered, his voice cracked. You do not even know me. Why help me? Amara looked into the distance. Papa, my mother always said, help the weak, and God will help you. I cannot walk past you like others did. You may be poor on the outside, but you are a human being. And that is enough for me. For a moment, the old man felt a warmth inside his chest, a warmth he had not felt in years. As they sat together, a loud engine approached. A fancy black SUV stopped right in front of them. The window rolled down. It was Emeka. Again, he saw the maid helping the beggar, and his face twisted with anger. You! Emeka shouted. What are you doing with that useless old man? Amara stood up quickly. Sir, please lower your voice. He is sick. He needs help. Emeka stepped out of the car. His shoes cost more than Amara earned in 2 months. He pointed at her like she was dirt. You stupid girl. You touch that filthy man? You are fired. Fired forever. Go back to your village. Amara's eyes filled with tears, but she did not move away from the old man. Instead, she stepped in front of him, like a shield. Sir, she said, her voice shaking. You are rich, but your heart is small. Why insult someone who did nothing to you? Emeka laughed loudly. Heart? Who cares about heart? This world only respects money. He spit on the ground near the old man. You two deserve each other, both useless. Chief Obi felt his heart break again, but this time, the pain was different. He was not hurt for himself. He was hurt for Amara, who lost her job because of him. Emeka sat back in his car and drove away with angry tires screeching on the road. Amara wiped her tears quickly. I am sorry, Papa, she said. But do not worry. I will be fine. Chief Obi looked at her with shaking lips. You lost your job because of me. Amara forced a small smile. Jobs come and go. But kindness must stay. Come, Papa. I have a small room nearby. It is not much, but you can rest there. She lifted him gently. She carried his bag. She supported his arm. She walked slowly, so he would not fall. They entered a tiny, broken one-room house. The roof leaked. The walls were cracked. The bed was only a mat on the floor. The air smelled of dust and old clothes. But for Chief Obi, it felt warmer than his mansion. Amara gave him her only pillow. She placed a cup of warm water beside him. She covered him with her thin blanket. Rest, Papa, she whispered. Tomorrow will be better. Chief Obi's heart shook. This girl had nothing, yet she gave everything. He lay on the mat and closed his eyes. The softness of her kindness wrapped around him like a mother's hug. For the first time in many years, he slept peacefully. He now knew the truth. His children had money, but this poor maid had a heart of gold. And he knew his test was complete. The next morning, the whole city would know the truth too. The sun was high in the sky, shining brightly over the biggest mansion in the city. Cars were parked everywhere. Beautiful dresses, expensive perfumes, and cameras filled the air. Today was Chief Obi's 70th birthday, and the whole city had come to celebrate. But no one knew the truth. No one knew where the chief had slept last night. No one knew whose hand he would arrive with, and no one knew that this day would change everything. Emeka and Chidi stood at the entrance, smiling proudly as guests greeted them. They walked from group to group, shaking hands, pretending to be humble, but inside their hearts, they were proud and greedy. They whispered to each other. Today, Dad will announce the CEO. Emeka said, fixing his suit. It will be me, Chidi replied with confidence. Dad knows I have the mind for business. Emeka laughed quietly. You? Dad loves the eldest son. That... Both brothers carried pride like a crown on their heads. They believed the world belonged to them. They believed their father would hand over everything without question. But Chief Obi had seen their real hearts. Inside the hall, the announcer raised his microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, please prepare to welcome the great Chief Obi. Everyone clapped loudly. But minutes passed, and the chief did not appear. Guests whispered, "Where is he? Is he late? Is he sick?" Then, suddenly, a loud sound shook the air. Thump, thump, thump. The ground trembled. People rushed outside. A helicopter, shining like silver, was slowly landing on the lawn. Dust filled the air. The wind blew people's clothes. Children covered their eyes. Women held their wigs. The crowd could not believe what they were seeing. Is the chief arriving by helicopter? Why today? What is happening? The helicopter door opened slowly. A tall man in a white silk suit appeared at the door. His shoulders were strong. His steps were slow and bold. A gold walking stick shone in his hand. It was Chief Obi, but the biggest shock was not his arrival. It was the person standing beside him, holding his arm gently. A young woman in a simple dress, her hair tied back, her shoes old, her eyes humble. Amara, the poor maid. The crowd gasped loudly. Some covered their mouths. Some stepped back in confusion. Some whispered behind their hands. Who is she? Why is she holding him? She looks like a servant. This must be a mistake, but it was no mistake. Chief Obi walked forward with dignity. Emeka and Chidi rushed toward him, forcing smiles. Dad, you're here. Happy birthday, Dad. We were worried. Chief Obi did not smile. He did not hug them. He did not greet them. He simply looked at them with cold, deep eyes. Eyes that had seen their true hearts. Emeka pointed at Amara. Dad, why is this girl with you? She is a maid. She is nobody. Chief Obi lifted his hand. Enough. The crowd fell silent. The chief's voice echoed like thunder. 2 days ago, he said slowly, a blind beggar came to your homes. Emeka and Chidi froze. Their hands trembled. Their faces turned pale. He asked for water. Chief Obi continued. He asked for mercy. He looked directly at Emeka. And what did you give him? Emeka opened his mouth, but no words came out. You gave him insults, Chief Obi said. You kicked his stick. You dropped him in the dirt. You laughed while he suffered. Bye. Gasps filled the air. People stared at Emeka in shock. Chief Obi then turned to Chidi. And you pushed him from your car. Your girlfriend mocked him. You called security to throw him away like trash. Chidi wiped his face with shaking hands. Dad, we didn't know. That, Chief Obi said, raising his voice. That is the problem. You did not need to know he was your father. You only needed to know he was a human being. Silence filled the garden. Not even the wind dared to speak. Chief Obi continued, his voice filled with pain. I raised you in wealth. I gave you everything. But wealth did not give you a heart. You became proud. You became cruel. You forgot kindness. You forgot humanity. Tears rolled down Emeka's face. Chidi fell to his knees. Dad, please. We made a mistake. Forgive us. Chief Obi looked away. His heart was broken, but he was not weak. Then he turned to Amara. The girl lowered her head, trembling. She never expected any of this. She never wanted attention. She had only done what her heart told her. Chief Obi touched her shoulder gently. This girl, he said, had nothing. She had one small meal, and she gave it to me. She had one small bottle of water, and she shared it with me. She protected me from insults. She defended me when others laughed. She treated a stranger with love. I have Direcel. Amara's tears fell silently. She covered her mouth, unable to speak. Chief Obi lifted her chin gently. You showed me a heart like my late wife. You reminded me that goodness still exists. The crowd clapped softly. Some cried, Some felt ashamed of their own hearts. Then came the judgment. Emeka, Chidi. Chief Obi's voice grew heavy like iron. From today, your bank accounts are frozen. Your cars returned. Your credit cards canceled. Emeka fell flat on the ground. Chidi grabbed his father's feet. Daddy, please. We are your sons. We will change. No. Chief Obi said firmly. Chief Obi. Chief Obi said. 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 Chief Obi. You will work. You will start at the lowest level in my company. You will clean floors. You will carry boxes. You will learn what it means to earn respect instead of demanding it. People nodded. Some whispered, he did the right thing. Others said, this is justice. Chief Obi turned again toward Amara. Amara, he said softly, you called me Papa before you knew who I was. Today, I call you daughter. Amara shook her head, crying hard. No, sir. I do not deserve. You deserve everything, Chief Obi said gently. He handed her a set of keys, a house, a car, a position. You are now the new head of the Obi Foundation. You will decide where my money goes. Because you have the heart to use it well. The crowd burst into applause. People shouted her name. Some clapped until their hands hurt. Amara dropped to her knees and cried into her hands. Tears of joy, tears of miracle. Chief Obi opened his arms, and she hugged him like a father she never had. And then, the great man spoke his final words. My people, never judge by clothes. Never judge by status. Judge by the heart. Because angels do not always come with wings. Sometimes, they come wearing old shoes and carrying kindness in their hands. The crowd cheered. The story of the blind beggar spread across the land. And from that day on, kindness became a crown that many longed to wear. My friends, listen well. The person you look down on today may be the one God sent to lift you tomorrow. Respect the weak, love the poor, help the helpless. Because destiny can change in one single moment. Kindness is never wasted. Cruelty always returns. And a good heart is worth more than all the gold in the world. If this story touched your heart, please show some love. Like the video. Subscribe to African Tales by Kairo. Share this story with someone who needs hope. And remember, your heart is your real wealth. One love, my people. See you in the next story.